S.M.G. Let's get it. Yay. S.M.G. 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 Oh, S.M.G. Welcome to episode 9 of the S.M.G. podcast with Mo Spin, the most open-minded and true-to-form podcast out here podcasting. Thank you for listening on Spotify and Google Podcasts. Hey, Apple Podcasts coming soon. I'm your host, Mo Spin, and we are brought to you this week by the Sylvester Maurice Group, where excellence matters. Key Spence Realty, your key to the next open door, and the Pernell Brown Collection. Hey, man, on this week's episode, we're going to discuss the effects of mental health awareness on the community of color, and the stigma of mental health illness in these same communities. But we're going to dive into a quick commercial break and then come back into one of the most important topics in the Black community.
Are you looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? I'm Keosha Spence with Greenhouse International Real Estate, serving Georgia and Florida. I'm currently accepting new clients and ready to provide you with an exclusive real estate experience. My business core values rest upon 3 major keys: integrity, reliability, and professionalism. So contact me today to schedule a complimentary consultation. Keosha Spence, 678-889-3405. Email me at keosha@keyspencerealty.com. I'm the key to your next open door.
This, conversation here we're about to embark on is just facts, and it's real important. If you ever experienced it, you'll understand what I'm saying. If you haven't, you're like, hey, whoa. But this episode here, we're going to talk about mental health. Mental health, illness, and try to get your mental health back on point. It's real taboo in the Black community to talk about mental health. We seem to link it to, slow. We joke about you slow, you retarded, stuff like that. But those are just actual things. But mental health is a whole different other thing that can affect you in your day-to-day. It's one of the leading causes of suicide, amongst Black people, amongst everybody, actually. So, we're here to talk about that today, man, and shed some light, So we're going to break it down and, see what's going on. But basically, according to the American Psychiatric Association, mental illnesses are health conditions involving changes in emotion, thinking, or behavior. Mental illness are associated with distress, problems functioning social, work, or family activities. The mental illness is common, believe it or not. In a given year, nearly 1 in 5, 19% of United States adults experience some form of mental illness. 1 in 24, 4.1% has a serious mental illness. And 1 in 12, 8.5% has a diagnosable substance use disorder. Mental illness, it is treatable. That's the good thing. The vast majority of individuals with mental illness can and will continue to function in their daily lives. Let's just be honest about that. So, we want to describe what it is. It's just, it's deep. Because it's affecting our black community a lot. And I don't know if we're scared to tell anybody about it or we're embarrassed. But I see it. I've seen it a lot. And I dealt with it with family members, Thoughts of suicide, depressed. How you going to pay bills? How you going to do this? How you going to do that? So, hey. But, mental illness, mental health disorders, all that's basically the same. That should affect your mood, your thinking and your behavior. A lot of people, you go through like depression, anxiety. Yeah, I know I used to have anxiety. Matter of fact, I still have it every now and again. If a lot of things get hot and heavy, because I've been through a lot. I have anxiety every now and then. Schizophrenia. Even simple things that you don't understand, like eating disorders and addictive behaviors, addicted to alcohol, addicted to weed, addicted to gambling, addicted to your cell phone, just any kind of addictive behaviors, that's literally considered a mental illness. Something you can't go to bed without and you can't wake up without, that's like considered an addictive behavior. Maybe you need to talk to somebody about that. I know. We strong. I get that. But when you think about it, if somebody actually took your cell phone away from you for a whole day, a whole week, how would that make you feel? If someone asked you to start smoking weed or start drinking liquor or beer for a whole day or a whole week, can you cope? Just what we're talking about. If it's nothing, then you pretty good. But if you having issues with that, that's maybe, a little mental health issue you probably need to sit down and talk to somebody about. All jokes aside, But if you don't understand exactly what I mean, it's a list of signs and symptoms, Over time, you have a good ass day, then, some shit trip you out. Then, like 2-3 days, you go to feeling sad or down. You have confused thinking or reduced ability to concentrate. The Mayo Clinic, they have a lot of good information on this stuff, You have excessive fears or worries or extreme feelings of guilt. I know many people right now, they worry a lot. They just fear everything. They just negative all the time. And, that's a symptom, a sign of mental health disorder. You have a withdrawal from friends and activity. You just out of a sudden, just become a loner, You're not answering your phone for anybody. You just like, holy shit. You're tired all the time. You got low energy or problems sleeping. You seem to be detached from reality. Delusions, thinking the earth flat. Or, other shit like that. You paranoid all the time or have hallucinations and shit. You seeing shit that ain't there, but you think that shit there. You paranoid, thinking the motherfucker shit finna go down, but it ain't. Your inability to cope with daily problems or stress. Motherfucker say something to you, you ready to jump off the motherfucker deep end. You can't sit down and talk about it. You just ready to snap. Those are all these motherfuckers like symptoms and signs of fucking mental illness. You have a trouble understanding and relating to situations and the people. You have problems with alcohol and drugs. You know, you see major changes in your eating habits, straight up. Like, shit, man. This last week, I was tearing up everything. Now I ain't even hungry, man, because my old lady done left me. Or shit, I'm struggling at my job. You know, all that shit is mental health, some shit. You know, that shit fucking with you when they fucking with your eating habits. Because it's fucking with your mind. Your mind control your hunger. You know, y'all gotta put this shit together like a puzzle, man. Your sex drive changes, man. You gotta find this old lady in the world. You know, whatever it is. He come home, man. She come out the shower one night looking good, smelling good like Victoria's Secret. You just don't want to do nothing because your mind on something else. Shit, you know. Mental health, man, you know. Always angry, hostile, violent. Thinking about killing yourself and shit, man. All these mental health disorder symptoms, man. Like I said, little small shit like that can add up. When you're holding all that shit in, it's going, like 8 Ball done said back in the day, it turn crumbs into bricks, you know? Turn that shit bigger than it is. So, you know, we gotta look into all that. You know, you gotta take care of yourself. You know, talk to somebody. You know, if you got a doctor, go talk to them. Sit down and talk to them. Maybe they can, you know, give you a referral to a real mental health specialist. You know, and if you're having suicidal thoughts, you know, there's plenty of shit you can do. If you feel like you can't talk to nobody, you know, there's suicide hotlines out there. You know, especially in the United States, it's the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. You know, that number 1-800-273-8255. And that's real. You gotta seek help, man. Don't try to do this shit alone, you know. Reach out to a close friend or loved one. If you're in the church, reach out to your minister. Or a spiritual leader if you ain't into church. Or somebody that advise you on how to live your life. You know, somebody you really believe in. You know, that shit can grab you, man. You see so many cases every day, you know, with all this shit, man. You know, you get these beautiful women, man, dying over murder, suicide shit, man. You know, these men, they having these issues. They ain't talking to nobody. They holding all that shit in. And they come home and some bullshit happens that they want to kill the wife and then kill themselves, man. That beautiful woman had nothing to do with that, man. You should have sought help. I'm sorry. That's just what that is, you know. I get upset and I get pissed every time I see it on the news. Or every time I read about it. Like, what the fuck, man? You know, I don't advocate suicide, but if you're going through that much, I don't know what what the other individual got to do with it. Well, I digress though, man. We're gonna talk though. And let you know how important mental illness is in our community. You know, there's a lot of risk factors going into this shit. Believe it or not, man. You can have a history of it, man. Somebody in your family, your mama, your daddy, your uncle, your aunt could be a little off, you know what I'm saying? And you thinking, oh man, that should never happen to me. Until it happened to you. You know, stressful situations. Finance, you lost your job, you lost a loved one. Somebody real close to you died. You know, or you got a divorce or some shit and you don't know how you're going to pull yourself up to it. That shit, all these risk factors, man. You know, get brain damage over time. And that shit, like a lot of the football players and shit, or all them blows to the head, man, they snap off and shit. We sit back and wonder, damn, how he could have did that. He a millionaire, this and that. He ain't know, man, his brain was taking over. He was having mental health problems. And he probably wasn't getting the help he needed. Especially a lot of the military motherfuckers that come over back from combat and shit, that seen a lot of shit. They go through a lot of that shit. And overdoing, alcohol and overdoing any kind of drugs, man. That shit puts you at risk to have mental health issues. Especially the shit. And then, shit you go through when you was a child, A lot of people, was molested and or had rough childhoods and that shit. They never ever talked to nobody about it, and they just held that shit all the way in until they got older, and a lot of that shit just exploded. Things like that. It's just things like that, man. But the key is, man, if you are feeling healthy, if you are feel like this and that and this, that's good. But if y'all having any of these symptoms or you notice any of these risk factors, it's best to ask for help, Because believe it or not, the shit common, man. Basically, 1 in 5 adults got a mental illness. That shit sound crazy, ain't it? But it do. Like 1 in 5, like if me and 4 other motherfuckers over here, one of us got a mental health problem. Now I know it's probably me, because like I explained to you before. Hey man, I have anxiety attacks, man. I go through shit, man. Shit rile me up, man. Sometimes I be like, man, fuck the world, man. I want to be to myself, So I have to reach out and have to talk to somebody about that shit. Things like that. I'm just gonna be honest. Since we being honest, But like, listen, man. You just gotta pay attention to your warning signs. Try to get you a little medical care if you can. I know all of us black, we don't got insurance, but hey, if you can't talk to anybody, call them, talk to them. Be honest, man. This shit ain't funny. Don't be scared. I know back in the day they pick at you if they fuck with you. You say, hey man, something wrong with that nigga. That shit was funny, but now that shit ain't funny. This shit for real now. You want to take care of yourself, man. I know we like to party, we like to hang, man. But the key is you got to get you a lot of sleep, man. You got to start eating healthy, exercising and shit. I ain't talking about trying to go be Arnold Schwarzenegger and shit, but, get your ass out of bed, nigga. Walk down the street, walk to the corner. If you ain't doing nothing else, if you ain't got no gym membership, do some walking. Me personally, I try to get at least like 10,000 steps in a day. I don't know if that shit healthy in their world, but to me, it make me feel good. And I ain't the healthiest either, but I try to slide me a salad, some apples, in every time, I try to eat a little healthy, with the motherfucking low cholesterol eggs, and I try to do things that help me. I'm not a vegan, but I eat vegan food, vegetarian shit. I tried it, it ain't all bad. I'm just saying.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, and next to kin. This is Pernell Brown from the Pernell Brown Collection. You can contact me on Instagram. That's Pernell Brown on Instagram. Now check this out. Not only do we sell clothing merchandise to men and women who work in a professional field, because y'all gotta look good when you go to work, and you gotta look good when you step out. We also do affiliated marketing. And we do that on a small scale because I believe there are steps to your success. So you got to take baby steps. You know that. So deal with me, rock with me, fuck with me. And I'll do my very best to try to put your brand and your product out there.
But yeah, we're going to talk numbers right now, And just, it's a lot of statistics and facts that go along what we're talking about. You have your social, economic disparities, these factors, they can make treatment less, they can make treatment options less available. 11.5% of black adults in the U.S. had no form of health insurance. So that's tough too. You got no insurance, you're less likely to go and speak with a professional. The black community are more likely to experience social economic disparities, such as exclusion from health, educational, social, and economic resources. These disparities may contribute to the worst mental health outcomes. Black men are not receiving the help they need from these problems. Only 26.4% of black and Hispanic men ages 18 to 44 who experience daily feelings of anxiety or depression were likely to have used mental health services, compared with 45% of non-Hispanic white men with the same feelings. It's just, the numbers don't lie. Not when it comes to things like this. It's all there in black and white. Research it. Like I said, you feel in a certain way, you got to get them. Most of these problems, they're just basic. They come from everyday life. Black and African American people living below poverty are twice as likely to report serious psychological distress than those living over 2 times the poverty level. Adult blacks and African Americans are more likely to have feelings of sadness, hopelessness, and worthlessness than adult whites. And they're also less likely than white people to die from suicide at all ages. However, though, black and African American teenagers are more likely to attempt suicide than white teenagers. That's like a 9% versus 6%. It's amazing. That is crazy, Over the last year, 4.8 million black and African American people reported having a mental illness. And 22.4%, 1.1 million people reported having serious mental illness over the past year. So, you just got to think about it. That's why you got to be careful when you're calling the police and your family member or your friends having episodes. You got to be careful when you're calling the police. The police, they don't got no damn experience or no mental illness. They coming in, they so damn scary. First thing they gonna do, they gonna feel threatening and want to shoot. It's real, so you got to look at the numbers, do the research. You have to, man. All this information is out here. And sometimes, we our own worst enemies, For real. We just have to really get it together. They throw us in jail for having mental issues. They don't give us treatment. They lock us up. We make up 13% of the general U.S. population, but nearly 40% of the prison population. And so many of that prison populations have mental illness, but they ain't diagnosing that. All they see is you committed a crime and you where you supposed to be. It's sad. It's a lot to this, man. It's like what the Transformers say back in the day, it's more than meets the eye. It's really more than meets the eye. But I'm going to play a clip from the Daily Show with Trevor Noah. I love this show. It keep me on my toes and it keep me laughing too. Check it out. It deals with the black mental health issue in this country.
But if that wasn't bad enough, there's another major hurdle stopping black people from getting therapy, and it comes from the black community itself.
We have a stigma in the black community when it comes to dealing with mental health.
Black students say where they come from, it's shameful to talk about anxiety, depression, and trauma.
It's not okay to have mental health issues, or like, that's a white people thing.
I've heard all the time, black men don't go to therapy, they go to the barbershop.
I told my own mother that I was seeing a therapist, and she said, you don't need to see a therapist. What you need to do is see a preacher.
You got Jesus.
Right.
You don't need anything else.
Right.
Just buck it up.
Yeah. That's a line every black person knows all too well. You don't need therapy, you need Jesus. And my response is always, why can't we use both? Because church is a great place for community, but therapy is great for one-on-one mental health needs. I mean, I bet Jesus himself wish he could have gone to therapy at times, you know? Just be like, so my best friend betrayed me, and I was born in a freaking barn, plus my birthday always falls on Christmas, so I only get one set of presents. It's so shitty!
But yeah, that's my point, that's what I'm saying. It's good to laugh with it, it's good to understand it, but the facts are the facts, Sometimes we're our own worst enemy. It ain't cool to have mental issues. Or, like you said, you need Jesus and all that. Hey, maybe I do, but right now I need somebody tangible I can sit down and talk to and explain what's going on in my head right now. So listen, man. If you don't take anything out of this, I want you to take this, man. Health is wealth. Physical health, mental health, emotional health. If you don't got that, man, you're gonna struggle in parts of your life, and you ain't gonna understand why. So listen, take care of yourself. Definitely take care of your mental health. You go to the gym, you work on your physical, you work on your cardio, you jog, you lift weights to get your physical health in point. Now you got to do the same exercises for your mind, your mental health. You got to pick up books, do breathing exercises, you have to yoga, meditate, and believe it or not, that helps me, man. Meditating, oh man. Sometimes just put on some nice calming music and just lay in my bed with all the lights off when I'm going through something. And just meditate and just clear my mind. All the bad thoughts, let them just flow out, But hey, the S.M.G podcast with Mo Spin, we're here for this. Believe it or not. We occasionally gonna have important episodes like this, and we're gonna come in and talk about these things when we run across it, When excellence matters. When your business matters. When your artist matters. The Sylvester Maurice Group will take it to the next level. Small business consulting, startup strategies, music promotions, hey, new artist management. The S.M.G Global Network's umbrella will take your endeavors to new heights. The Sylvester Maurice Group for small business consulting. The S.M.G podcast with Mo Spin for entertainment. Tragic Music Records for all aspiring artists. The future is here, baby. We are here. S.M.G. Available on all social media platforms. Don't be late to the party. Let's get it. Yeah, but hey, hey, I know this mental health thing, it seemed kind of silly, so we're going to break it down for all the people that, a lot of times, let's just be honest, y'all ain't yourself. Unless somebody else saying it's you or what you do. So we just going to take it to a high level right now, A lot of these celebrities y'all follow, y'all look up to. Athletes, a lot of your role models. You think that's just the perfect going on. Hey, a lot of them are dealing with mental health issues also. If you pick up a newspaper, turn on the TV, you see a lot of stories about athletes and celebrities that's dealing with mental health issues, But, their job is to seem normal in the public eye. But a lot of these people are facing a lot of challenges behind closed doors when they're at home, alone, or with families, Especially athletes, you hear about it all the time. They're pushed and pushed and pushed to perform, compete for championships, break records, go win at the Olympics. Behind closed doors, I'm trying to tell you, many of them are struggling with their mental health. Let's just be honest here. They put their pants on one leg at a time, just like all of us. Just because they're in the limelight, they got more bread or whatever it is. They human too. And that's why I try to tell a lot of people, when you're playing at such a high level and you lose, or you get put out of the playoffs, or you lose in finals matches and things like that, you can't tell me that don't affect them athletes. Of course they got to come to the podium and talk because that's part of their job and they're required to do that. But a lot of times, if you look real close, you can see the pain in their eyes. They're sitting like, man, shit. Like, look what's going on with that little girl right now. I ain't gonna say little girl, the young lady, Naomi Osaka. What she dealing with, The wins are overshadowed by her losses. Because those losses come at a cost for her. And it's messing with her mental, A lot of these athletes going through it right now. Ben Simmons, A lot of football players that just, hey, they need time off. They struggling. You look at, some of the biggest and brightest stars, Michael Phelps. He admitted there was days he didn't even want to get out of bed and sometimes cope by drinking. He had DUIs. He had to get help. How to cope with depression. You want to think about a person like that, the most decorated Olympian of all time with the most medals. You think his life is gravy, but it wasn't. Think about it. Just like we just talked about, Naomi Osaka. One of the greatest up and coming tennis players of all time. She had to step away from tennis. She had to take a break because it was getting too much for her. She couldn't even do the news conferences. Anxiety and depression, was messing with her. Even Serena. She been, you should let everybody know about her struggle with depression. Reading the article on VertaHealth.com where she talks about her battle with postpartum depression after giving birth to her daughter. She continues to be a voice for other athletes with mental illness by speaking openly on the subject and trying to break down harmful stigmas. And that's real. Simone Biles. We just experienced that, last year. And her mental was so strong, had done took over that she could even perform flips because she felt like she'd get mid-air and forget what the hell she doing up there. And that's what I'm saying. A lot of these athletes, I ain't gonna say a lot of them, all of them, they human. Just like me and you. We go to work. We put on a facade. We come on when we struggle. A lot of us struggle with depression, anxiety. So we lean on certain things. And we start to hide it. And it start to get worse. Until a lot of times, unfortunately, it's too late, A lot of time it's too late. Look at Junior Seau and, things like that. Athletes that take their own life. Because we don't know what they're going through. Out in the open, just they look so normal. Big, strong football player. Shit, who would have thought? Ricky Williams, one of the best NFL running backs. Depression. I'm reading a quote right now. He said he was 23, a millionaire, had everything, yet he was never more unhappy in his life. He felt extremely isolated from his friends, his family, because he couldn't explain to them what he was feeling. He had no idea what was wrong. He was later diagnosed with depression and social anxiety disorder. That's what I'm saying. A lot of this stuff is going on. And you got to sit down and talk to people about it. If you don't want to hear it from me, take it from some of these athletes y'all look up to. Y'all got their posters on their wall or, everything like that. Kanye West, one of the biggest, most recognizable persons in the world. You can't tell me he's not struggling with mental illness. Come on, man. You can't tell me that. A lot of people look up to him. So many people that deal with this stuff. The list goes on. Adele, Michelle Williams, Ryan Reynolds, Miley Cyrus, even Beyonce. All of them talk about, they open up about their mental health. A lot of these people have bipolar disorder, A lot of these people, they suffer with depression, anxiety. Mariah Carey. A lot of people you don't know about. Kerry Washington, Lady Gaga. If you don't believe it, do your research. Look it up. But I'm saying that to say this. Look in the mirror. If you feel like something ain't right with you, you up one day and down the next for no reason at all, look into that. Just don't fire up another joint. Or cop another bottle. It could be something off. Check it out. I warn a lot of people. The murder-suicide rate right now is the highest it's ever been. If you don't believe me, gunmemorial.org. You see it every day. Beautiful women on there, the victims of murder-suicide. And when I say beautiful, I ain't speaking on physical. You could look and see that, hey, the pictures, they smiling, they happy, they just, you know. Mental health. It's a struggle out here. We got to get our hands on it. We got to get our hands on it. We got to get our hands on it, for real. If not, I would hate for you or someone you know to become a victim of it, because you could have sought help, or somebody that you with can get help. For real. Let's just do that. Let's just do that. If you want a place to go, it's websites like mentalhealth.gov you can check out. You can go to NAMI.org. That's www.nami.org. For real. And if you feel like you're experiencing, seek out your PCP, your primary care physician. And talk to them. They got resources. And if you're working, I know your job, most jobs have an EAP program that they can help you, put you in line with somebody you can chat with. Just a lot of options, Everything after this is just going to be excuses.
Are you looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? I'm Keosha Spence with Greenhouse International Real Estate, serving Georgia and Florida. I'm currently accepting new clients and ready to provide you with an exclusive real estate experience. My business core values rest upon three major keys: integrity, reliability, and professionalism. So contact me today to schedule a complimentary consultation. Keosha Spence, 678-889-3405. Email me at keosha@keyspencerealty.com. I'm the key to your next open door.
I'd like to thank y'all for tuning in to this episode about, mental health wellness in the Black community, basically in all communities. It's a subject I kind of take dearly, because I suffer with it. Anxiety plays a major part of my life. So like I said, hey, you either get help for it, or you can try to live with it. I prefer you do the first. Try to get help. But I encourage everyone to go out and register to vote. If you're unsure how to register, Google or Siri your county supervisor of elections office, and they'll provide you all the details. Make your voice known. We are stronger together. Our voting rights are in jeopardy. We need to put people in power that think and react like us, not just look like us. Critical laws and bills are being passed by your local, county, and state governments every day that will aggressively affect our way of life. Be the change you want to see. But once again, thank you for listening to the S.M.G podcast with Mo Spin. Don't forget to rate us, review us, and give us 5 stars on each episode on Spotify. You can also listen on Google Podcasts. We'll be available on Apple Podcasts coming soon. All jokes aside. Anything below 4 stars seem like you're hating. Let us know what you think. Tune in next week for more sports, music, television, and game. Peace and love.